What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Realm Status, your weekly, well, now it's monthly update for Camelot Unchained news. I'm your host, Swiper, and today I'll be reviewing the 11/27/2019 monthly wrap up that Camelot Unchained recently did. Now, typically they give a weekly update, but now they're moving towards a monthly update. So, again, there's going to be a lot of information I'm not covering because I'm trying to keep this video anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes long. Now, you want me to cover more information, obviously it's going to extend the video, so please let me know in the comments below. And of course, if you missed their stream and you want to watch it, go ahead and check out the links below in the comments. So let's start with my top 5 and then move on to the Q&A section. All right, let's move on to the top 5-ish. So now, since this is a monthly update, there are about 21 of these things. So I highly recommend you check out this newsletter, take a look at all of them. I'm only going to go over 5. And again, if you want me to cover more, let me know in the comments below. So let's start with number 1. Work in progress, gameplay, the Scald. This is the last but not least Camelot Unchained support classes. The Scald is in the final stages of internal testing. The Scald is the only support class with a melee weapon, the Harmonic Frost Axe. Yes, I said that right. Making it more of a frontline fighter and not one that lurks in the back. So this is going to be awesome. This is going to be really cool. I can't wait to see how they're going to balance this guy out. I can't wait to try this guy out. So I'm hoping we get to see this guy pretty shortly. They mention here that it'll be available sometime after Thanksgiving break. And of course, they say, please note that there are some placeholder animations and some abilities. So if you remember, or if you don't know, anytime they put a class in this game, it's not fully completed, right? It's not fully balanced. Not all the animations are stuck and the sounds and things like that. There's always a little bit of work that goes into it, but at least there's a foundation within that character there. So let's move on to the next one. Number 4, work in progress, tech knockback. So this is going to be awesome. So anyway, let me get to the update and I'll say my spiel. So Matt has been working very hard on the knockback system that will add a lot of excitement to combat in the game, with both melee and projectile-based knockback undergoing successful internal testing. So this sounds like not only melee characters will be able to use knockback, but maybe some archers or some range. That is going to be awesome because knockback is sweet in PvP. And since this is a PvP game, it's going to make it that much more better. All right, so let's move on to the next one. Work in progress, tech and ragdoll. So Mike D completed our ragdoll 1.0 system, which we've been testing internally for a few weeks now. Aside from providing unlimited variation in entity death poses and reactive corpses, the system supports a partial ragdoll effects on limbs and other body parts, allowing knockback and other effects to produce a realistic physical response to forces acting on entities. So that's actually a really good point. I didn't think of that. So when you like knock somebody back in game, it would be really cool instead of their character just to be a stiff board that just gets shifted back. Actually, like their arms get thrown back like a real animation. So this is going to look really cool when this all comes together. Work in progress, tech and overmind. So work continues to pace for our vision for Skynet for the Unchained engine. New features have been added to its core functionality and continues on its march to taking almost complete control over the game. Fortunately, we can only count on code working as intended, so we have nothing to worry about, right? Smiley face. You can check out the newsletter, blah, 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 email. So if you didn't bother to check your emails, or if you don't get the emails because you didn't contribute to the game or anything like that, let me slide this over. Ooh. So what the heck is Overmind and why am I talking about it? Overmind is, as the name implies, the system that watches over the game and makes decisions based on conditions in the world. It's not AI in the traditional sense, but rather a very powerful scripting system that is a mixture of spreadsheets, code, which essentially tells Overmind what to look for in the world and react accordingly, blah, blah, blah. So this is probably not the most educated thing to say, but do you guys ever play Rift and they had those rifts that would come alive and they would either be small or gigantic. And it seemed like the rift, from what I remember, would go off the population of people. So if there was a ton of people, that rift would be big and you need a lot of people to fight it. If there's only like 2 or 3 people, it'd probably be small. Now, I know those rifts would eventually get bigger and bigger, and they're supposed to overtake the world and blah, 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 which never really happened when I played the game. But I gotta imagine it's something similar, maybe with how the Veilstorms will work or anything else. Now, I could be totally wrong with this. This is just me guessing. I don't know if that was a scripting tool or what, but that's what came to my mind when I first thought about that. All right, so let's move on to the last item. Work in progress. Design new scenario. So we're working on a brand new scenario for our CU backers. This scenario is going to pit our backers against a large quantities of incoming enemies. We plan to be able to show off a ton of new tech that has been in the works for the past few months, including 3D pathfinding improvements, improved NPC behaviors, knockback, and other overmind scripting systems. All the pieces have not quite come together yet, but we're getting very close. So this kind of reminds me of some of those games where you fight until you die. And I think when I first heard this, I was like, oh, because I kind of wanted like a new scenario to have like 3 keeps, right, for each realm, and you would attack each other, and maybe some place, like one place, central place, or 2 places where you get supplies and things like that. And it kind of feel like a mini realm type of battle type of system. But then I started really thinking about this type of scenario, and I thought this is actually probably really good for testing. They can test, healers, how much they can heal. They can test knockbacks and tanking, like, what they can do, how much damage they can take, how much damage DPS is doing. I think overall this would be a really good scenario to get a lot of testing done. Just a lot of things that they have on paper that they need to see out there. So overall, it made me a lot more excited, and I'm excited to see what kind of data they can gather from this. So with all that being said, let's move on to the Q&A section. All right, let's start with number 1. How will castle repairs work? So for this question, they had a little bit of an example to give some context, and their example was basically saying, can someone cast a siege engine or bring a siege engine, shoot at the castle a few times and then run away just to be annoying? And is it going to take forever to repair such an annoyance? So as of right now, you obviously can do this if you want. They have plans to deal with this kind of situation, and there are no plans to have just some kind of cart that you can run around with and shoot off. Now, from my understanding, you have to remember that these siege engines are going to take some time to build, and you're going to have to bring people to build them, like your crafters and other players and things like that. So I don't think this is going to be something that's necessarily easy to do. But again, I'm just going off of what I think. So anyway, they said that they don't want repairs to be ridiculous, meaning if you throw 1 stone at a keep, it won't take you days to repair. So I think they have a plan in place for this, but we'll just have to wait and see. All right, question number 2. When support classes are finished, what classes will you work on next? So first, they said that they want to finish out the support classes before they start talking about the next class they're going to work on. They didn't tell us what class they're going to work on, but I'm guessing it's going to be the Devout. But let's just wait and see. They also said that they want to have a solid foundation with every class that they put into the game at this moment. Now, this doesn't mean it's going to be balanced fully or that it's going to be launch ready. It's just a basic or decent foundation. So this way we can play with the characters, report anything, and, at least get some game time in with these guys. All right, moving on to question number 3. And this is for all you Dark Age of Camelot fans out there. Would you consider a MORDRED style server? Now, for those who haven't played Dark Age or any other game that has something similar to this is when guilds are pitted against each other rather than the actual realms. So MJ did say, heck yes. It's really up to the players. It's really up to us, and it's up to the demand of players. He said if there is enough people that want this server and these people can support the server, I assume with population size and everything like that, then it wouldn't be an issue. They could spin up this type of server, no problem. So it sounds like if there's enough people and there's enough interest, they can definitely do this for us. All right, and question number 4. Will healers have side duties rather than just healing? So first, MJ says, yes, healers will not just be healing. While they're definitely not the class to play solo, they'll have other things to do besides just healing. And that was basically it. Now, I'm thinking healers are going to have to get some kind of CC or something else rather than just healing. If they just straight up healed, I get it, they're a healer, that's their main job, that's what they should be doing, but it's always a little fun to play healer when you can have like a stun or like a disrupt or something, or like a counter spell, just a little something extra to keep you on your toes and keep the enemy on your toes when they're hitting you. All right, and for the last question, can you give us a time frame on the new scenario? So it sounds like the biggest holdup for the new scenario is the nav mesh. It sounds like they knocked out 2 major bugs within the nav mesh and they're getting there. I think once they're done with the nav mesh, it sounds like this new scenario should be on its way to us. So let's hope for the best. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for me today. A few updates. I am now a proud father of a new baby boy. Da, 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 da. His name is Maverick, and no, I do not have another son called Goose. He was born on the 23rd. He's my first child, so a lot of my time and my wife's time has been devoted to this little guy. So with all that being said, I still want to cover Camelot Unchained and all the news they do and any kind of articles and things like that. Just be a little patient. I know my YouTube channel is small, but I may be a couple days late or so, and that's the reason why. And for anybody that is new to my channel and you're seeing this for the first time and you want to get involved with Camelot Unchained, or you want to support them, or you even want to participate in some of their betas, check out this video I made a while back. It's going to give you a quick and easy breakdown of how to get involved for as little as $30. So other than that, if you guys like this video, please hit that thumbs up. It is a big help. And if you want more updates like this, go ahead and subscribe. It is huge for me. Huge. So anyway, guys, have a good weekend. I hope you guys had a good Thanksgiving. I hope you guys already started your holiday shopping and all that good stuff. I will talk to y'all soon. Peace out.